Hi there. I have to say that of all of the types of movies to review, the horror/thriller genre is probably the hardest. It's the hardest because most grown men, after seeing these types of movies, leave the theater and say, no, I wasn't really scared. That's going to happen this weekend when people go to see Insidious Chapter 3. They're going to leave this movie and they're going to say to themselves, they'll say to their friends, they'll say to their dates, no, I wasn't really scared. And for the most part, they'll probably be lying. Now, this third installment of the Insidious series, which started several years ago, is actually a prequel. We meet some of the characters that we came to know and love from parts 1 and 2, and we see how they came together. Now, this movie tells a story of a young girl, a teenager who's recently lost her mom. She wants to connect with her mom because there's so many things she wants to say to her. So she goes and she meets up with a medium, Elise, played by Lynn Shay, who we met in the first 2 movies. Now, Elise tells her, listen, I'd like to help you out, but I don't do that anymore. And if you're going to try to contact your mom, do not do it on your own. Well, of course, she doesn't listen to this advice, and then our young heroine goes back and tries to contact her mom on her own, which only provokes a demon to try to break through. Now, depending on how you feel about these sort of things might, interpret how you like this type of movie. So if you're the type of person who allows yourself to believe that there could be a possibility that these things could happen, then this movie might freak you out. But if you go into this movie already thinking to yourself there's no possible way this sort of thing can happen, you're already going to be closed off from it. Now, in regards to myself, I do know some people who've gone and talked to mediums and talked to psychics, and they say they're pretty accurate. I haven't myself, but I allow myself the ability to believe that these types of things could happen and could exist. And for that reason, Insidious Chapter 3 totally freaked me out. Now, this movie was really good because as a prequel, it laid a couple of nice little cookie crumbs to set up for the other 2 movies in terms of there was some really accurate foreshadowing, which I really liked. Lynn Shay, who most of you are probably gonna remember from There's Something About Mary, but a lot of you will also remember from the first 2 of these movies, was absolutely stellar in this movie. She was absolutely fantastic. Her every time she was in a scene, she absolutely owned it. Her character was fantastic, and she just exuded this uber confidence in this movie. I mean, as a guy who's attracted to women with confidence, I found myself thinking to myself, hey, Lynn Shay, how you doing? But she's 71, so clearly not going to work. What does work, though, is Insidious Chapter 3. Again, it's a horror genre movie, so you're going to go into it with the mentality of, oh my goodness, this didn't scare me and it wasn't really a big deal. But I left the movie with goosebumps on my arms because it was just so incredibly freaky. Dermot Mulroney is also along for the ride, and I should also point out that this movie is directed by Leigh Whannell. You'll remember Leigh Whannell from being one of the guys who was chained up in the first Saw movie. He was also in the other 2 Insidious movies, and he did a great job as a first-time director. I really enjoyed this body of work that he did. And also, this movie is produced by Jason Blum and also produced by Oren Peli, who we'll also know from the Paranormal Activity franchise. Great movie, lots of thrills, lots of scares. It's one of those movies where all the great stuff isn't in the trailer. Believe me, they left a ton left for the movie, and I'm giving this movie a B+. If you have an opportunity of checking out Insidious Chapter 3, I would love to hear what you think about it. How do you get a hold of me? Glad you asked. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier and WittyWhittier.com. Thanks so much for checking out this blog, and I'll see you at the movies.